stream. We're live, and I'm at my home office now. So, the videos that I made seem to be having issues uploading onto my phone. So we're gonna go ahead and remake this real quick. I'm actually joined by my girlfriend Grits on a Mission. She may not actually have any input to this. She may just sit and listen because of the what's the word for it we're looking for the possible explosive reactions some people have to these subject matters. It's one of those things where I'd rather be fair and I'd rather be nice and I'd rather give somebody the opportunity to choose these subject matters at point. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and do this. Here we go. But let's just cut to the point. Be real. We're going to go on to Google for this. And we're going to go, why did Trump win? And we'll go BBC. Very simple. I'm just signing information right now, so just bear with me. I know this is divisive subject matter, but let's go and sit down and actually talk about this. The reason... Oh, let me get my camera back up and running. Hold on. All right. Blending method. Normal. All right. Let's talk about this. There are some active concerns I have for the state of our country, for the state of what America means, and what America means to people outside of America. Now, I know some people are going to view this as divisive. They are going to choose to agree or disagree, and that's fine as long as things stay civil. Now, if they turn sideways and people start getting death threats, there's going to be hell to pay. Because I will never approach anybody regarding politics and attack their beliefs or viewpoints unless they are attacking myself or my family or my loved ones. Now, and that out of the way, let's go and sit down and actually talk about this. Now, the answer is, what does this all mean? What does this all mean? Well, with the previous two videos I made, we talked about different viewpoints, how Democrats view things in a very unique way and how Republicans view things in another unique way. There are people in the middle who view it very differently as well, but let's go ahead and cover those two one more time as a quick restarter. Now, as an example, my girlfriend, Grits, you can correct me if I'm wrong about this. You there?
I'm listening.
Okay. My girlfriend is on the more conservative side of the spectrum. She is more of the evangelical style of Christian, and she is also a very kind, loving, moral person. Anybody who's seen her with me when we stream know that she is one of those very kind people who's willing to actually do everything she can to be as morally forthright as possible, which is an amazing thing. Now, the thing with um, people who are on that side of the spectrum, they tend to be very, very traditional. And it's not a bad thing. Tradition's a good thing. It's one of those things I myself fall under some traditional spectrum sub items too, like ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and the old showman style of entertainment. But when it comes down to the spectrum of, well, when it goes down to the spectrum of understanding things or actually sitting down and fully having a conversation with people, you have to understand your subject matter. And the one thing that conservatives who are on the religious spectrum care about their home, their family, what affects them. Not what affects others, but what affects their home directly.
That's not entirely true.
It's a generality, and you can correct me. I'm more than willing to accept it. But the big thing is, you care more about what affects your family directly. If something actually was like, hey, bathrooms are mandated to actually have people who are transgender share the same bathrooms as each other, would that make you uncomfortable?
Yes.
And the point is, it would even make me uncomfortable. It's one of those things. But I'm just bringing that up as a case in point, nothing more. Now, what we're also discussing is more traditional values, marriage. Now, people further on the spectrum, you're more conservative. And what I mean conservatives is you're people who believe in marriage as in a man and a woman, the sanctity of marriage. Now, some people who are on that conservative side of the spectrum are just like, look, marriage is a religious contract that is formed between two people. Now, the way how the state and the nation has formed it has become a legal contract as well. Now, there have been arguments on both sides regarding gender specific marriages with men and women and same sex marriages. It's one of those things where both sides of the spectrum will actually argue both for and against it. It's nuanced. It's not going to be just one side against the other. Because there's people who are on both sides of the spectrum that actually will agree and disagree. So when you're saying Democrats view like this, you're wrong. Not all do. When you say Republicans view things the same way, you're wrong. Some don't. It's just one of those things just to share the nuances behind it. Now, the one thing that actually has been scientifically proven is that most Republicans tend to see things in a very narrow field of specifications.
Also not true.
Well, okay. When somebody asks a question from a Democrat, most of the time they'll get a very diverse answer going like, well, there's always specifics about this and it depends on the situation. Republicans will say,
That's also not true.
no, yes, trust me, they've actually proved it scientifically. Republicans.
Okay, I'm not interested in talking politics though.
Republicans will mostly.
Because you're not interested in anything that refutes what you have to say.
Okay,
so
would you?
I'm not going to chat about politics online.
Well, okay. Would you like me to pull up the science behind it?
No, as I stated, I'd like to not talk politics.
Perfectly fine.
And that was the attitude that I had before you ever started streaming.
Understood. And that's one thing I'll respect from you. But just, and it's one of those things where I'm saying generalities. There are nuances. There always will be nuances. But it's one.
No, you were just saying that most of the time, all Republicans this and that. And now you're saying that there are nuances. Those are two different statements. You're
Scientifically,
contradicting yourself.
no, scientifically,
No, you are contradicting yourself. Those two statements mean different things.
okay. The thing is the majority. It's not
No,
all, it's the majority.
it's not. No, it's not.
I can pull up the science behind it. There's a lot of science and studies that have gone into it where Republicans' brains are wired very radically differently than Democrats.
No.
Yes, it's
No,
science.
because Republicans and Democrats are all human beings.
It doesn't matter about human
And
beings.
we all pick whichever side of the aisle we want due to different reasons.
It's
So it's not about someone's brain is wired exactly the same as someone else's. That's not true.
okay.
There are non-Christian Republicans.
I'm not arguing that, but what I'm
There
saying
are
is,
Christian Democrats.
what I'm saying
And
is
you're
that
trying to boil it all down to something and make it too simple when it's not.
no, I'm trying to simplify things to a point where it's understandable.
That's what I just said. Yes, you're simplifying it to a point where it's not true.
It is true. That's the thing.
No.
About 70 to 80% of the time, my statement is true. It's backed by science.
No, it's true in the South. It is not true all over the world, and it is not true all over the
I'm
United
talking
States.
specifically to United States.
It is not true
They've-
all over the United States.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. This is one of the reasons.
It's cool. I'm
No,
gonna
no,
log
no,
off.
no. I see, all right.
No, I told you I don't want to talk politics,
Sure.
especially online.
I understand.
Especially online.
All right.
I'm not a politician, and I don't want to be. I came online to hang out with my boyfriend, relax a little bit.
Brain
Play some
scans.
games.
Here we go.
Okay, have a good one.
All right.
Bye, hun.
And this is what one of those things where I wanted to bring up. It doesn't fit everybody, but it actually gives an example of the majority. It's one of those things. And it's one of those things where this was unfortunately, this was one of those case in points where when it comes down to it, yeah, just look this up right here. Let me go ahead and, but it's one of those things where black is black for Republicans. And the problem is, black may not be just black. Black may have aspects of gray to it for Democrats. And innately, it's just a brain difference. It's a radically different way of thinking. And the problem is a Republican may look at an image and see a giraffe, and a Democrat may look at an image and see a horse. It's just the difference in thinking. Anyways, but yeah, there's a lot of nuance behind this, and it's one of those things where the big thing for me that matters is we got to come to a point where I don't care which side you're on, we got to heal. Because having somebody who's divisive isn't going to do anybody any good, because all it's going to do is radicalize people and get people upset. And the problem is the Democrats have done a really good job of radicalizing people. So has Republicans. It's been both. And I care about my home. I care about my people. I care about my girlfriend. And it's one of the reasons why she avidly doesn't want to be part of politics, because she doesn't want her family at risk. Anyways, folks, like always, keep it real. I said my piece. My videos didn't come through like I was hoping, but take care.